Brand South Africa, together with the Ministry of Communications, has launched the Nation Brand Forum. This comes after, South Africa's global brand ranking dropped from 47 to 61 out of 137 countries in the world. Now, this drop can be attributed, some say, to the country's ailing economy, violent crimes, and the high levels of poverty and unfavourable perceptions from the World Economic Forum. The forum is aimed at creating a platform for new ideas which will help improve global perception of the country. Now, to tell us a little bit more about this ranking and what it means and the implications, I'm now joined by Brand SA CEO Dr. Kingsley Mkhubela. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome to you.
Thank you, Peter.
So that's disappointing, isn't it? Dropping in those rankings. I mentioned crime and other factors, but what would you say has led largely to us dropping ranking?
If you look at different areas that were assessed by the World Economic Forum, you realize an area like finance. Last year we were ranked number 11. We've moved to 44 now. It mainly speaks to systems in the financial sector. Issues like the findings by the regulators that the banks colluded to manipulate foreign currency trade and not take action and leave that in abeyance. It's perpetually left hanging. There's no final decision on it. It creates problems with respect to issues speaking to governance. You also look at areas that we've been improving around labor efficiency. The improvement is very marginal. Improvement is also very marginal with respect to health and primary education. But areas that we've been very strong, Peter, we've dropped. And I think yesterday we had this Nation Brand Forum to really go back to the drawing board and try to address things that led to our drop. Of course, the economy is not doing well. I mean, growing at 1.0%, it's not helpful also.
I'm a bit concerned that we wait for reports to start doing postmortems and looking back and saying, how do we improve? Do we not have a mechanism along the way to say, look, this is slipping, this is dropping, this is going to cause problems for us for the rating, and then start to fix it beforehand?
No, listen, Peter, you have different agencies around the world that are conducting independently. They are conducting their own surveys. The World Economic Forum does this independently. It's not our report, it's their report. And once they release this report, it's the only time that we can look at their findings. But if you look at their findings, they are speaking to some of the dynamics that we are having within the country. They are a true reflection of some of the challenges we are having as a country.
Can we fix them and therefore improve our ranking next year?
We can fix them, certainly. We need to put our governance systems in order. I think it was also quite bad for the public protector to want to change the mandate of the Reserve Bank, It creates a lot of uncertainty around the world. We need to be stable. We need to deal with the challenges that we're seeing with respect to political killings. I'm happy that you find that this commission is dealing with that. There are specific police units to try to resolve this matter. If we are seen to resolve this matter, we'll definitely get out of the bad ranking, would improve.
So what's the effect of a ranking like this? Because WEF is world recognized and people will pay attention to whatever they say. For you and your job in trying to sell South Africa? Well,
precisely, Peter, you're quite correct. A lot of people, they look at these rankings of WEF and they formulate opinions based on what the WEF is. Remember, the World Economic Forum attracts top CEOs around the world and so on. So it's quite important for us to deal with issues that have been identified in the WEF report. The issue here, it's not the fact that we've gone down, it's our capacity to stand up and address these issues. I was glad when I heard in your headline news speaking about the oceans economy that is generating jobs. I think these are the activities that we really need to invigorate, and we'll see some improvement and we'll get out of this slum that we are in as a country.
So how do we do it? I mean, I've got a business maybe down the road and I hear this and now it's going to affect me. How can I participate to help change this time?
We need to develop a common message, all of us, business, the private sector, even the civil society, around our own capacity to deal with the challenges. But we must be seen to deal with these challenges that have been identified. The only issue is to act on these issues. And that's how we're going to be competitive. Remember, this is affecting our competitiveness around the world. So we must show our ability to compete and set systems in place.
Do you think our political leadership is aware about some of the things that are playing out? Because I almost sometimes get a sense that people have pressed the pause button until December 2017 because they're just not sure what's going to happen, and only after that will they either start investing, because they'll have a clearer picture of...
I think that's what we need to do. We need to communicate policies of continuity. Remember? Change in continuity is very important for us to articulate that message. Though there's going to be change after December, but there will be continuity. N1 will be N1, it won't change. You know, SABC will be SABC. You won't find any change in SABC. So that message of continuity is going to be very useful to assure business communities that the political change, they don't necessarily mean the whole overhaul of the structure of government and systems and processes.
Where could we get a quick win? Because, you know, when you pick up the newspapers, you've got the mining sector saying, no, we'll only talk to each other in the courts. You hear about the state-owned enterprises and corruption and collusion. Where can we get a quick win that people can start to feel positive?
We need to fix governance. Governance. If you look at issues that were raised about ESCOM, they all relate to governance. Issues around SAA, it's around governance to ensure that this state-owned enterprises are profitable. So we need to put proper governance system in place, and everybody recognizes that. People in government, they recognize that they need to deal with issues of governance of the state-owned enterprises. The only thing that we need to do is to act, because we have good policies to resolve this. But I don't know why we're moving so slow to fix these issues.
Yeah, and this slide has happened before our eyes, and as you say, we've always been going up. So this is quite a concern that suddenly...
And at a time when the unemployment rate is going high, the economy is not growing, the last thing we needed is to reflect on governance systems and processes that are having challenges. This is the last thing that we wanted this time around. But I'm confident as a country that we have always arisen from the ashes. When people have ruled us out, we've arisen and really performed very well. And
so what can this forum do?
The forum was mainly around putting business people together and the civil society to speak about what do we need to do. That's what we were talking about. And there were good ideas that emanated out of that forum. The issue now, the minister was there. The minister would elevate some of these issues that were raised to her colleagues in cabinet to ensure that they are addressed.
All right, so Banyana winning the cup in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe didn't help.
Well, they were swamped by all these challenges that we're having as a country. But they did fantastically well. They've done us very proud. We hope the Springboks and Bafana Bafana, they will perform well. The Proteas are doing very well. So there are positive things that I imagine.
Let's sing up the good news. Let's talk up South Africa.
Let's do that. Yeah, that's what we need to do. And there are a lot of good news that we're not talking about. We seem to be dragged by our shortcomings. We can't be defined by the problems. We must be defined by the opportunities that we are able to identify and seize on them.
Yeah, we've done well in the arts traditionally as well. You're so right. Well, we wish you the best of luck with your endeavours in selling our country, and let's hope that business and the politicians listen, work together, and let's fix this ranking.
Let's do that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Thank you. Okay, let's catch you up with what happened on